Welcome back from that short break, everybody. We are going to get into the second map here in this best of three between Dignitas and Flipside. It's the elimination match. One of these teams is going home. One of them is going on into the playoffs. I am here with Metas. Metas, what do you think?
Mind blown. Dignitas in a position they could be going home already without winning a single map as well, by the way. They have not won a single map here at DreamHack Winter, and Flipside on the brink. What I will say, Overpass heavily favors Dignitas.
Okay, then.
Heavily.
Heavily?
Yes.
Like, massively?
If I was to read some stats out for you here, for example, Flipside, they lost against Cloud9, Nip 16-1, Heroic, Tengri, okay? So these are the kind of teams that they're getting battered by. Obviously, Nip and the rest of them are sick, but whereas Dignitas have won a whole bunch of maps on Overpass, and they've looked really dominant. So I definitely feel Dignitas, if you lose this, there is something seriously wrong.
Well, it's just a matter of waiting and seeing. It hasn't really been the best showing from Dignitas so far on Train. They had it within their grasp, and they let it slip through their fingers. So we have to see here on their home map, by the way it sounds, if Dignitas are going to be able to keep it together and lock it down. They're starting on the T side, and you see two players already going for utility on Dignitas. It's going to be Flipside on that CT side, and World Edit and Blade, aggro mid. I like it. World Edit's going to be close enough to hear them stomping by. There's some early info for his teammates, and already you see the adjustments here from Flipside. Electronic falling back to the site. Markeloff rotating up to A. Waylander rotating off of B. This is really a big commit here from Flipside on this A site.
We'll let it in the duel to the death. It's so sloppy. They both almost run out of bullets, but it is going to be Config that gets the kill, although heavily impeded in the case, but Magisk down into Connector does land onto Blade. The bomb carrier of Config drops out just to be absolutely sure to Magisk, and meanwhile they are going to look to funnel their way onto B. This is going to be a rough ask now for Waylander, who's all by himself. The flash keeps them at bay for a few more seconds, but the Instagoosh comes in, and that will be Dignitas claiming the site for now. It's all in Electronic. Didn't have a terrible first map, but this is asking a lot.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That'll do. 1v2 now with some time to play. Can he actually get on this bomb fairly quickly here? He is going to get the drop. Another big headshot for him. Now it's the 1v1, and Config has shown himself, but this still favors Electronic. Perfectly done. 1v3 clutch, and Flipside will take the pistol round here on their CT side of Overpass. That's what we're talking about.
That's an unreal clutch, and just when Dignitas hot off a 16-14 heartbreak, to lose the pistol in that way, that's got to sting. But on the other side of the coin, Flipside now, after that kind of a clutch, that's inspiring, that's invigorating, that really puts them forward into such a great spot here. What a clutch that ends up being.
Electronic, that's what Flipside need. They need that firepower, that explosive clutch opportunity, and he takes advantage of it, completely destroys Dignitas. Dignitas here in the second round, they got that bomb plant, so they are on pretty much a hard eco here, but that is exactly what Flipside need to carry through on the win here. Explosive plays like that from Electronic. That's the whole purpose of this guy. Mad fragger, and they need him to step up.
And it's pretty much what he was doing on Train. That he would get these spree killings, he would get these 3-4 mans. And there we go, speaking of the man himself, up on the box will rain down terror with the M4. Grenades, UMPs, the kitchen sink being thrown in the direction of Dignitas, and they're not able to deflect any of the bullets. They're going to go down. Blade close to death, but will retain his MP7. 4 SMGs in total, no reason to keep all of them, I'd imagine, but they may very well do so. Okay, there's one being traded out for an AWP, because they know the Dignitas, obviously, with the bomb plants, are going to get their AKs in.
I really want to see Blade throw away that MP7.
Me too, man. It hurts to see him take this through into the next round.
Why are you doing this, Blade? I mean, UMPs, fair enough. They do the most damage versus armor out of the SMGs. They're good long range as well, so you can kind of tap in the mid-range with them. Well, I mean, if Dignitas are going to go for the straight-up YOLO rush, this could actually work out for him. Waylander right on the other side, and he's going to get a kill with the UMP already. Swaps to the AK, and now he's primed. He's going to get a good bit of damage through the smoke as well.
I can only assume that Dignitas were thinking they would trade up the UMPs, because that rush is just so dangerous against an SMG at point-blank range, especially when the smoke is down. You're asking to be sprayed through that. Rubino and MSL are so close to death. They only have one smoke to play off. They expended so much on that charge, and it's completely neutralized. And to make matters worse, Waylander's only lost 9 health.
Yeah, it's a perfect hold for Flipside. That couldn't get any better. And now they can rotate up. World Edit's got the eyes on Long. They have a single smoke grenade, and Cajun B could drop it at the entrance to Long towards that A site to allow for Dignitas to get close to the site and hope to just bum rush it. This is not going to be an easy situation at all for Dignitas. Working their way up Long. World Edit's got the angle. Is he actually going to be able to step out into it, though? This is getting a bit close here, dangerously so. And there's the shoulder peek. World Edit knows, and his teammate Electronic, perfect man to have in the situation. He's going to get the first kill.
Does go down instantly afterwards. Oh, well, did it miss his Rubino on the entry? Another chapter to be written maybe in round 3. I thought this was done. Apparently not. Dignitas is still in this, and the MP7 now comes up for the retake. Oh boy, Blade is going to be regretting things if he doesn't get this clutch now. Out on the return, Cajun B trying to one-tap his way to victory. He goes down. It's going to be the MP7 that comes into play. Rubino has 3 health. Is he going to be the 3 HP hero? The first headshot goes his way. The smoke is down, and there is Blade with the MP7. So it works out after all. Flipside will pick up a 3-0.
Bit of a scary scenario there, though, to be frank. Flipside, I mean, World Edit impact that he had in that round was nil. Apart from allowing Electronic to rotate and pull that 180, basically keep himself alive and take one with him, World Edit needed to get another kill there, really, and that's a bit of a shame. But still, solid work from Flipside with the retake. Dignitas 0-3 right now versus Flipside. Going into this 4th round with the Tech 9 Kevlar half buy, saving up for that 5th round when they'll be able to get the rifles again. And Dignitas this time around, actually, Cajun, MSL, and Magus, all 3 of them making their way very quickly into Connector. They're just going to look to get that collapse onto the B side here, Dignitas. But Flipside have got 3 players ready and waiting for them on B right now. So if Flipside stick to the plan, if they keep all 3 here, this is going to be a fantastic scenario for them.
This is going to be a meat grinder. You have to feel Markelov. Great performance on train, continuing the pace here with 3. Has to be mentioned, Dignitas didn't have much into that one. It was their throwaway round, but still, Flipside, very well played.
I love Markelov there at the end. He's just like, well, you know, I knew you had my back, bro, but I still had to check. You know, didn't fully trust you. Almost cost me my life, but hey, it's all good.
Still friends, still mates.
Still mates, of course. Still teammates. I mean, at the end there, that was a little bit close because Markelov has to trust in Waylander to hold the line behind him so that he can fully focus on short. The fact that he actually goes for a 180 there to check his back, a little bit scary. But still, solid anti-eco round there for Flipside. Rubino is going to get picked by Waylander to begin with, and that was actually over towards T-side. And look at this, Waylander, this is what I want to see more of. Taking initiative, pushing into T-spawn, clears it out completely, and that gives so much information now over to Flipside.
It's such a good read as well, like assuming that B would be quite barren, and he's getting so much information. This is so useful for the rest of his team. The only downside is that they don't have control over Connector. They have a player close enough that they'll hear the door if it opens. So they do have both of these angles covered, which is exactly why that player's staying in lower graffiti. Minute to play with. Dignitas, who've already conceded the first kill, going to be setting up for a play onto A site.
There's that smoke that's going to go up to opening of long. So if World Edit is here, he sees that smoke. He has to know that there are going to be some players on the other side of it. Electronic trying to take advantage of it. However, he's going to go ahead and change up his angle. And so now there's a bit of a crossfire established here on the A side between World Edit, Electronic, and Blade as well. This is going to be interesting here if Dignitas decide to press matters and go up onto the A site. The smokes go down, and they should be able to achieve the bomb plant at least. Just have to take your time and believe in Waylander because he's got that delayed rush coming in here. Cajun B is going to walk right out into it. Waylander, free kill for him, and it just goes, I mean, perfectly done here by Flipside.
Electronic again stopping that bomb plant is just so imperative for Flipside. It stops this push. Instantly, there's no pressure on the shoulders of Flipside. Conflict's got a couple of kills. He's making a real go of this. A nuisance, another one-tap lands. Okay, that's where the red light is shown for Flipside on chasing this down because this is starting to get very punishing.
Leave him.
Yep.
Stay alive, save the op, don't bother hunting him. You really didn't need to challenge him at all if you're thinking about the money game. And so that is a little bit greedy on Flipside because you want to just establish as strong a bank as possible on the CT side. Keep building that money so that you never are in a situation where you have to eco, right? So going for kills like this, really just challenging outright, not the best sort of scenario whatsoever for Flipside. They actually made this round a whole lot more expensive. It was close to a flawless round for them, and then they kind of threw it away there versus Config. But because look at this, you know, Dignitas, they don't have the money to buy. Config is going to have that AK, but that's all you have to worry about if you're Flipside. Whereas you have a full buy, all the nades, everything.
And again, no nades picked up. I mean, surely you can spare a grenade on the likes of Config here or Rubino. It's pretty mad to me that they don't get a single smoke, not a single flash. They have got the opening pick, though. That could go some way into just forcing their way into the site, cracking it open, peeling away the CT defense. Flipside, 2-2 formation. Waylander is going to get a frag onto Config, who is boosting up, and the grenade also connects onto Cajun B. So that's a lot of damage in the space of a couple of seconds that's been inflicted onto the terrorists.
That's Waylander just being like, GTFO. Get out of my side of the map.
This is my house. Waylander's gone down, though.
Yeah, he gets one bulleted. Okay. I don't know anymore, man. You have certain situations that just don't pan out. And, well, steps way wide. And look at this spray all over the place. Markelov doing tremendous damage. Rubino down to 6 HP. Cajun with 3. 44 seconds to get this bomb plant. Electronic and World Edit need to take their time.
Magis has picked up a kill, but look at the health of all 3 Flipside members. World Edit with the AWP, though. Of course, he's not going to 100%. That's the case. But Markelov, his transfer on spray, you said he did so much damage. Another day, that would have been 3 frags. He was so close to landing a god play there on the site, which would have won Flipside the round. But Dignitas going to scrape by just about. And their first round, World Edit playing safe. We'll keep the AWP.
Yep. Man, that's painful if you're Flipside. Because this is a round that you should win.
Oh,
just
yeah.
hands down destroy, especially Waylander getting that opening kill, doing damage to Cajun. I mean, they did lose Blade very early on in the round, it looks like. But still, the fact that Flipside with a full buy aren't able to keep out Dignitas, who didn't have any grenades, they had a single AK, I mean, that is a bit frustrating. And it's these kinds of mistakes that end up costing you, that really end up costing you in the end. Challenging config now, they're going to feel that a little bit. Their bank that they've been working on is pretty much gone for Flipside. And so this is the big opportunity here for Dignitas now to turn things their way. 5-1 lead here for Flipside. And Dignitas, if they actually pick up this round, they're going to put Flipside into an eco situation, and they can get the ball rolling for themselves. So one of the swing rounds coming up here. This is one of the clinchers.
Smoke and Molly being exchanged between the 2 players on Connector. And this is also where Config landing 3 or 4 kills in that round where he saved the AK really starts to be a nightmare for Flipside. If they lose this, they'll be into an eco sort of scenario. Damage being inflicted across the 2 teams there on short. No players falling in the process, but Blade and MSL come out a little worse for wear.
Yeah, scary there for Markelov, really. I mean, you've got Waylander there to back you up. He's got a flash. Put a flash into sewers before you go for the peak. It's those sorts of things as well, where if you want to be just very precise about it, because now that flash is actually, it does nothing from Waylander. Or from Markelov, rather. So, I mean, we'll see. So far, they've been very good about picking up initial kills here. So in the last round, at least Dignitas, they managed to get Waylander for free over here. So we'll see. He's playing Pillar once again. And he might go for that peek into Cajun B, who's now got that off angle. There's the Molotov, going to force him out. Cajun actually just decides to back off. And with 45 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be MSL waiting patiently to find that kill on Waylander.
Therein lays the issue with being on Pillar. It doesn't really give you a lot of room for error. And with MSL landing that first kill, it's going to open up the floodgates onto the B side. There are 3 CTs in hot pursuit, though, trying to stop this bomb plant. Finally gets it done with about a millisecond left in that plant. Rubino was so close. Yet down he goes. Now they're going to use that smoke to their advantage. Hiding in the shadows, lurking forever. Who is that player? It's Electronic who comes through. He gets himself a kill. What's happening? How is he still alive? And he's going to get another one. MSL's all that remains. This is such a sloppy round by Dignitas. Maybe MSL can pull this out the fires. The bomb is planted. He's now going to use the smoke and dance his way past Electronic. The twists and turns have been real. MSL gets taken down by World Edit, and Flipside will get the clutch. There are so many WTF moments in that round.
Is this a pug? Is this FPL?
Smiles on the face. This is good to see as well. Or maybe more of a grimace, I suppose.
I don't even... Just like flashes through smokes. Just I don't even know what's going on anymore, dude. Flipside, 6-1 lead. Dignitas, they're going to get that buy. But we do have a fully equipped Flipside on the other side. That bank, well, big. I mean, again, look at this round. No money for either team left. And so it's a 6-1 lead here for Flipside, but this is Dignitas looking to see if they can try and bring it back after losing that 1v1 clutch in the last round. World Edit might have a chance here to actually pick it up, but again, doubting his angle. Worried about long. Might have had a chance to catch somebody shoulder peeking there. That's unfortunate.
The finances hang in the balance as well for Dignitas. They get their round loss reset and then lose instantly afterwards. Able to get AKs as a result of bomb plants, but if they lose this, they're looking at half bite, best case scenario, maybe try and force out to break Flipside. So Flipside in a great position right now, all things considered, but we did see Dignitas take a similar lead on their CT side. We know how that ended. So they can't guarantee that Flipside do convert from here.
Blade going for a jump to check into sewers. Not going to see anybody there, so that's some information for Flipside to go off of. Markelov and Waylander are going to be the fixed position players on this B site, but Blade now rotating up to the A site. Not seeing anybody in sewers. Kind of an indication here for him, at least. He wants to try and have a bit of a presence up here on A to back up World Edit and Electronic. MSL and Config with the smokes going down onto A, trying to draw the defense up here. Markelov is fully rotated off, and this is a perfect fake coming in from Dignitas. Flipside have took this hook, line, and sinker. It's only Waylander here, and he's got Cajun and Magus just charging him down.
Entries once again, 20 seconds left. The bomb is going to start to get planted on the site. How's the retake looking here, Flipside? Not too great. Blade is low. World Edit is going to give them maybe a lifeline with a second kill, but now he's all that remains. And he has no interest. Going to be saving. Nice shot onto MSL, who's peering up with about 9 health. And although World Edit has landed frags, there's not a great deal of time left to get on this site. He does have a kit. Lands a shot onto Magis. What is that?
Oh, it's such a shame. He's getting all these kills, but he has no time to actually get out there for the defuse. Just has to sit and wait. He's made this round so ridiculously expensive for Dignitas, though.
That's a good point you're raising. Their economy wasn't great coming into this. Sure, they've won the round, they get the bomb plant, but got a couple players down to about 3K. So after this round, you're looking at $0 on a few of them.
You really want to see World Edit get fired up, though, because he's got that op. He can make the difference here in this round, and this is a double eco scenario, and I'm glad to see Flipside going for the 4 spot here. Might as well, right? You have that op and play on World Edit. You know you're eating 2 ecos in this round anyways. Even if you go for a hard eco, you're going to have another eco behind it. So just throw caution to the wind here, Flipside. Try and change it up. These rounds have been so close versus Dignitas. You might as well try and risk it. Blade doing a good Neo impression down here in Connector. Not taking too many bullets there. Or dodging them, rather, as MSL was hoping to get lucky through the smoke. And Electronic has set a trap. He hasn't gone for this kind of play yet at top long. Crouching behind the boulder.
They were talking about this in the desk as well, Sam, about World Edit, that if he does have one of those maps where he just turns on, where he just shows up, he has the ability to single-handedly carry his team to victory.
Yes, we've seen it in the past. Train is usually that map where he feels most comfortable, and you've seen like the crazy plays from him, like where he just dominates a map. But you're right, he has that quality. We just need to see that here. He needs to like actually start hitting some flicks and not going for, I mean, relatively low impact frags like in the last round. I mean, yeah, it's flashy that he's hitting flicks, but the round is already lost. It's not really making a difference for his team, you know, for them to win anything. Blade just caught out in the middle of nowhere, Siberia.
Well, these are the kind of situations and positions where World Edit really could shine. He's able to get himself back on long. They may not expect this. Spots the first player, lands the shot. The downside is his position is now compromised, and he's not entirely sure as to what's happening on A.
Oof. Hesitation on the part of Dignitas here. This could change things up. You already have World Edit. Well, no, you actually, who is that? It's Electronic, who's going to be rotating through T-spawn towards the B site. Waylander's still alive on the site itself, and World Edit at long. What is he doing out there? You couldn't be farther away.
Oh, boy. It's rough. Waylander's gone down. World Edit now has to get his skates on. And Waylander simply doesn't have, or Electronic, I should say, doesn't have the luxury of waiting around. He has to go in for this one. He spots the first player, but Cajun B will take him out. And this is where that fast rotation would have really helped Flipside out, but instead World Edit was laboring behind. And he's going to have no impact. It's going to look like it potentially exit frags again.
So far away, but the gambit pays off for Dignitas. They didn't commit to the A site. They had a man out on B. Little did they know that Rubino was, or rather, Waylander was still there. Shot, dead. I mean, he's getting these exit kills, World Edit, so he's keeping Dignitas' economy in check. But it's such a shame that he was on the opposite side of the map when the push actually started on that B site.
Again, though, Dignitas, their economy is being kept super low. This is a round, though, that obviously after that force bite, they're firm favorites to just roll on through and claim kills and the bomb plant. But World Edit still has that AWP, which is an antique at this stage. It's been saved for so many times. Can he get any kills, though, is the question.
Well, they've got him boosted towards sewers, so I do like that. Trying to change it up. It's going to be eyes and connector, though. Blade is going to be close to communicate that as well. He's going to get the drop on one. He could get that follow-up, but it's not going to happen. Magisk just holds down mouse one, sprays that angle, and Blade walks into it. But still, World Edit remains boosted. He has to know that there's a second player in connector. There's soon to be a third one there that's Config. So between Magisk and Config, they're going to be able to recover the bomb at least. But then things can get fun here because World Edit, he's still boosted. If they try and come out through Connector into sewers, he could be there to greet them.
Dignitas, very slow, steady push up. Well, then it misses out on his chance, and that could be the last one that he gets in this round, as Dignitas are now going to start to tighten the noose. Waylander point-blank range will be bested courtesy of Rubino, who's looking for more. Out on the entry prowl, World Edit is going to bounce back with a kill. That's spreading out Dignitas a little bit more and trying his luck through the box. Rubino, meanwhile, gets another kill. World Edit misses out on this one, whips out the sidearm. Not going to happen, and Dignitas have connected. So they will pick up a fourth. Flipside can go for a buy here, and they will have another AWP.
Yeah, that's what's tough about it for Flipside, and that's what's tough for World Edit. You know, you can see these flashes. You need to see him hit those exit frags in rounds that actually matter, like this one, right? Where he has the AWP and he's in the right place as well. If he just hits his shots, maybe they have a chance to win that round there, Flipside. But when it's not an exit frag scenario, he's missing. And that's what keeps him from being a top contender for, like, you know, a top opera role in the world, is just the fact that he's so inconsistent when it comes to when it matters. There we go. Catches MSL, looking the wrong way. Easy kill there. Electronic actually hunting in there, looking to see if he can't find a follow-up. World Edit needs to stick these shots, and he's going to get banged out by Config there. So back into a 4-on-4, and Flipside now they've lost the advantage, unfortunately.
Yeah, crisp one-tap by Config, completely neutralizing the AWP. They're not able to get their hands on the AWP either and scavenge it onto the site, which would be a nice bonus. Not for the time being, anyway. Meanwhile, Rubino is going to be lurking over on the B side of the map. Could try and be a nuisance up through short if he so chooses. Flipside just have the one player at this stage who's on B. Coming up to 50 seconds left on the board. Dignitas have enough smokes to get their way onto the site. 4 in total on the 4 remaining players.
Question of whether they commit to it or not. I think Magus did clear out Connector, so they don't have that to worry about at least, but they do have their sights set on the A site, and it is going to be Electronic first man to run into trouble. Rubino is going to open things up. That starts it for Dignitas, who are just charging forward. No use of nades just yet. Config, another headshot for him, takes down Blade, and he even spots out Markloff, but it's Rubino to find that kill. Waylander now. Well, there isn't a whole lot that he can hope to do. His entire team has been wiped out on the A site. He's still down here on B going, guys, team? Team? Why is TeamSpeak so quiet? Team? Yeah.
Forever alone, Billy no mates. Waylander just looking for exits again. It has been a recurring theme for Flipside. They will still keep their lead, but it is being chipped away at now. Will just be one as he moved into the latter stages of the first half. I'm very curious to see how they'll fare on their T side of Overpass. Fall into the same kind of traps as on Train.
Just save your gun at this point, Waylander, really.
Yeah, he's going to save. No one's around for the terrorist to claim his life, so at least one M4 will move through into the next round. The rest of the team's funds, though, not too great.
No, this is Dignitas really starting to take control. MSL going for his MAC-10 because he knows this is going to be an eco round from Flipside. And the rest of Dignitas fully equipped, no problems at all. Whereas Flipside, yeah, they have the one rifle. And they keep having these like single players survive these rounds. World Edit with the AWP. Now it's Waylander with his M4. But they need to actually try and make a hero play happen here. Blade and Electronic moving down, buddying up in Connector. And Waylander going aggro sewers with World Edit boosted up again, although I think that they were messing it up there, unfortunately.
Like, no, you go first. No, you go first. Standard boxing. They do finally get it, but they're not going to find any information for themselves.
Interesting positions, basically, here from Flipside. They were hoping for the close contact. They were hoping to be able to just find players in Connector. Not sure if Config actually spotted Electronic there, but he might be coming back here to check.
I think he turned a bit too soon. Very unfortunate timing. But at the same time, he's not being spotted out. There we go. Finally, Waylander will lay him to rest. 1M4 has proved to be useful so far. Bomb planted, though. And these are the kind of scenarios where the upgraded pistols could maybe give a couple of hiccups towards Dignitas, but you're expecting to see that M4 saved.
Yep, and the AK as well. Electronic has found that AK, so this is pretty solid, in fact, if you can just go ahead and back off, save these guns. I don't think that Dignitas should hunt either, because they know that that Flipside are going to be buying in the next round regardless. There's no reason to weaken your economy by going out and hunting for these guns when Flipside were going to buy anyway. So let them save the guns. It's not the end of the world, MSL. I mean, MSL can go and hunt with the MAC-10. That's the only reason why he's out here looking. But for the rest of the team, they wisely back off. They save their guns. They don't risk anything. solid play, and that ties it up at 6-6 now. So let's see here. World Edit has that AWP once again. It's a full buy for both teams. And well, Dignitas, you know, they do actually have a little bit of money in the bank now. So really, this has become Dignitas's map. This is Flipside now trying to fight back after a very strong start. Unfortunately, they aren't able to keep that up.
Yeah, I mean, 6-6 doesn't look too bad, but considering the Dignitas have a really solid CT half, Flipside need these remaining 3. Config chimes in for the first kill. Very impactful frag at that. Opens up things nicely. The deadlock has been lifted. Going to try and keep on to connector control desperately in the hands of Blade. Thinks better of his decision and will back away.
I'm actually curious to see where I do believe Electronic was pushing top mid. There was a smoke there though, so I'm wondering how Config spotted him. Hopefully we were able to catch that on the second observer PC, and we'll be able to see it at the end of the round, because that could have been a big fight there. Had Electronic with 2 players in connector, had Electronic found that kill, that would have opened it up nicely. But Rubino is going to find Markaloff here on the B side. Waylander going to get overwhelmed by MSL, and just like that. Perfect situation here for Dignitas. World Edit and Blade can't really hope to achieve anything here. They shouldn't even be showing themselves.
Completely agree. Just get the hell out of there. Blade is going to get 1 kill. It's just going to bait them into a retake. Do they feel so pressured, realizing they desperately need to take a 9-6 lead at half-time? This could be their lack of T-side prowess showing through here. The desperation is real. And, well, there is the end result. Cajun B is going to claim himself a free kill. And down goes World Edit, and they very much needed those 2 weapons going through into the next round. That's going to be a body blow.
Yeah, well, World Edit has enough for the AWP again. Electronic has got good money as well, but the other 3 are kind of floating around that 4,000 mark. So you see the Blade goes for the FAMAS so that he can afford the nades and the kit. And the rest of them going for, well, basically what they can afford. Electronic and Wayland are actually getting it done. Markaloff on the UMP. And while this is Dignitas taking the lead now on T-side Overpass, 7-6. Looking very good indeed. World Edit with the aggressive play mid. Not going to be able to connect, though. That's such a shame. That would have been a great start to the round here for Flipside. Instead, it's Dignitas now with control of top mid, and they're forcing World Edit back as well with use of Molotovs. I like it.
Just 1 kit in the hands of Flipside. Gonna have to hold on for dear life here onto the A side if that is going to be the fast play. Another Molotov has connected. That could stop Dignitas from pushing for the time being, but smokes are landing. Spraying through the smokes as well. Rubino lands himself a headshot. Close range, we'll see Electronic with 1 and a second as well. Very nicely done. But this is now a very claustrophobic environment, and even though the fire was placed down, he's going to charge through it. That grenade could do some serious damage. Actually just nicks away a little bit of HP on both members. 3v2 in favor of Flipside. Somehow, someway, they find themselves in the advantageous position.
Triangle is set up now for Flipside, though. They should have all 3 points covered. Unless Electronic makes a big mistake and steps out into the open to get picked, there's no real chance. And Electronic just going to claim this round as his own. 4 kills for him in the round. Very well done on his part. And waiting for the setup from the team as well with the flashes going out there. But this is the start. Yeah, Rubino, it's just a tough scenario for Rubino. He's so focused on bank that he doesn't even think to look right.
7-7. We may very well have a repeat of the first map halftime scoreline. On the flip side, we're able to edge it away. Dignitas this time much more centralized around connector and B control. No real interest up long. Of course, having connector control is so important on Overpass. It allows you to quickly dart between the sites if you so choose. A bit of a stalemate for the early stages of this round. Now edging up short A with the bomb. And this is where World Edit could once again shine, because he is going to be peering out there. Not going to see anything, though. See, Dignitas are really just trying to find a little bit of info. They're desperately searching, but nothing is forthcoming.
No, but now they've slowly cleared out. They've got control of B at this point. Cajun and Rubino working together as a pair. And they've got control of restrooms in mid. They cleared out connector as well. Dignitas have got a lot of map control to work with right now. That's the important key. So sure, they haven't seen anybody, but now they basically get to pick and choose where they want to go.
So nades starting to be exchanged between the two teams. As time dwindling away, 35 seconds now on the board. Dignitas have gone through a fair bit of their utility, but they still have a reserve pile to move into. Connector, once again, is going to be utilized by Dignitas, this time over onto the B side, which we'll see Waylander on the pillar once again. He's been here so many times. He does have some backup, though, from Graffiti as the flashes are connecting. Here comes Waylander with one, nearly a second, and he is going to land onto MSL. Not going to get a third, but the damage has been inflicted. Config comes back with 2 kills in quick succession. Time is scarce, but Dignitas will get the bomb planted.
What a brute, Config. That's nuts that he gets 2 kills out of the situation. He's going to go ahead and get picked off by Electronic, however, so that's not going to favor Dignitas. 2-on-2 retake scenario now for Flipside in the 15th round of this half. And so this would be so key for them to get it done, but it's not going to happen. Magisk just ruins Electronic's day, and now World Edit's in a bit of a pickle. And it's a sour one, because he's going to get shot in the back by Cajun here in a moment.
Yeah, just delaying the inevitable. Dignitas will be taking this round. There's going to be Cajun right here, right now. Lands the shot, and will be Dignitas moving through into the second half, 8-7 in the leads. Flipside really need this next pistol.
Absolutely. If they want to have any chance at all here, Flipside. But they were off to such a great start, Flipside. It's just that they weren't able to keep it together. Dignitas started to hit their shots. They actually managed to, I mean, some chaotic rounds that Dignitas came out ahead in as well. And well, that's what happens sometimes. You lose control of the situation. They still managed to keep it close, though. 8-7 finish. Dignitas coming out ahead in that first half. And, well, now we get to see Dignitas on the CT side, which will be interesting. They did show a little bit of weakness, Dignitas, on Train. Don't think that we'll be seeing that same kind of level here on Overpass. After all, this should be Dignitas' comfort map. They should be feeling a little bit better about their defense here on this map. It's a matter of taking this to map 3 metas. That's the big thing here that we're looking for.
Which is Nuke, and that's the map Dignitas have put a lot of effort into. I mean, even going back into the major qualifiers when Nuke started to show up again, it was really them that led the way. I had a disappointing performance there against Hellraisers, but since then they've been pretty solid. So if it does go to Nuke, again, I think they're favorites. But flip side, they win this pistol, it can keep the Dignitas economy low and buried. They have a chance, but it has to come down to this. Here we go. Bit of utility on the side of the terrorists. Nothing for Dignitas. They're going for that raw pick style with USPs and P2000s.
Super aggro as well. Look at this. 2 players pushed all the way up to top long. Magisk and Birthday. MSL watching Connector, who's going to be able to support in mid. But the flash opens it up. Magisk and Cajun, though, 2 kills. Waylander somehow finds 2 pistol kills to bring it back, however. That ruins it. Dignitas, they had a chance to really come out ahead. But Waylander, that individual play, that firepower, he makes the difference and brings it back to a 3-on-3. And still some utility left here for Flipside to work with as well. Blade has got a smoke.
And 2 USPs on top of that. So they can now fight fire with fire at those long-range confrontations. I completely agree with Dignitas were just going to sweep them aside. They got the opening picks. It was looking great. And then suddenly Flipside bounced back with a vengeance. So much time to play with as well. Dignitas can't afford to play aggro anymore. They just have to sit in position and wait. Flipside have the pick of either side, really. Going to be sending out Waylander on a scouting mission, while the bomb carrier has bodyguard and Connector.
I like it, Config. He's peeking for info. MSL at mid as well. They are trying to hunt this Dignitas, trying to figure out where they're coming from. MSL's now got the angle on Waylander, but he decides to back off. He's going to get spotted, and he gets the perfect headshot. Can even try and fall back. Yes, just barely makes it around the corner, and he gets the fade away. Looking for the third as well. MSL making the difference here for Dignitas, and he's even going to spot out Blade. It's leader versus leader, and MSL, no, Magisk robs him in the end. But still, Dignitas will win the pistol. It's a 9-7 scoreline with Dignitas getting the strong start here on their CT side.
His first kill is beautiful onto Electronic, and then from there on out, it's a case of just trying to retreat, buy up enough time. They knew that Magisk was coming up round the back, so MSL did a phenomenal job. 4 SMGs again. Then we saw similar from Flipside, and also an MP7, which is interesting, because it was Blade that went for that when the roles were reversed. We'll have to see if he holds on to that for the longer haul, or if we'll even be given the opportunity, because Flipside do have some deagles. They have some power plays left in them here in round 17.
Yeah, Markelov, he showed us what he's capable of. He's feeling it with the Deeg right now. But still, Dignitas should have learned that on Train, and I don't think we should see just as close a situation. Again, 1-for-1. Again, Magisk alone. Again, dropping the only rifle over to Flipside. Ah! What is this?
A catastrophe.
He's alone. Like, why is he alone? Okay, thank you. You donate it back. Look at that. Flipside, I mean, it's Thanksgiving, right? In the spirit of Thanksgiving, they're like, here, friend, have that. You need this? Are you starving in the wild? We'll give you a turkey in the form of an M4.
We'll give you the map. Why not? Take it. Let's go into Nuke. Still a long way to go, of course, but Dignitas is starting to shift through the games. That was a head-scratching moment by Magisk, but all things considered, Flipside still need to burst through onto the site. They have an M4. They have a couple of kills alongside it, but there are 3 CTs waiting, one of which is MSL with his UMP, and Rubino. Down and out go Flipside, all on Blade.
Can they find the M4? Now it's turned into like Easter come early, right? You got to go and hunt for the Easter egg. Where's the M4 on the map? Go and find it, save it, let Blade sit. You got 15 seconds to go and find that M4. There we go, MSL's got it.
Rubino is going to end up losing his life, and Blade is going to die before time. So all things considered, not too terrible, but Flipside now trailing by 3 rounds. It's unlikely we'll see anything coming out of them in this one. P250s at best, probably.
No, but a 10-7 scoreline right now for Dignitas. This is looking very solid, getting into the double digits. And while Flipside clearly frustrated, a lot of talking over there. Blade is very, very talkative. He might as well be Italian with how much he uses his hands as well. A lot of just this, right? It's like he's handing like invisible packages to his teammates of information. Like take this and understand why I'm telling you this information. Well, man advantage now for Dignitas, who are continuing to challenge early and mid. I like that Magisk is still aggressive. This is an eco scenario for them, but just be careful with the M4 this time, Magisk. Don't donate it too early.
Four players congregating up through Monster, and it's going to be a bloodbath. Easy as you like by Dignitas. And yeah, I'll never forget when we were doing DreamHack Open way back in last year, Stockholm, the Cluj-Napoca qualifiers. I was watching Blade for Flipside. This is when Simple was playing for them as well, and Simple kept smashing his table. Like, it was really infuriating. Blade just looked at him, and Simple was like, sorry. Just his whole body language changed. Dude's a scary guy.
It's Simple is awesome. Watching him play, like basically you stop watching Na'Vi play and you just watch the camera, because Simple always sits in the foreground on the camera, so you just watch the camera and see how he reacts to situations. It's awesome.
He's so animated.
I think that was like the highlight of Days weekend at Oakland.
Here we go though, rifle round imminent. Flipside desperate to try and get something out of this one, but it's going to go horribly wrong as Blade does at least get a kill and a second one. But the last terrorist remaining, and not for too much longer. An explosive round up mid. We'll see Dignitas edge further ahead. 5-round deficit now.
That's a chaos round right there. That's all over the place. And while Dignitas seem to come out ahead in those sort of scenarios. So again, Dignitas are just like, we need a challenge. We need to just shut them down completely. This is our map. It's our turf. We're taking this to map 3. It's 12-7, and Dignitas winning that key round forces Flipside back onto pistols. And again, now Dignitas, no, wait, they have pistols. So we can go ahead and beat up on them some more. Cajun B, aggro mid. Not going to find the shot, but MSL and Magisk were playing aggro connector as well. Config waiting for a chance to pick off Electronic over there, but Cajun's going to go ahead and hunt down Waylander at long. Nice shot. And while this is not going to shape up very well here for Flipside, unless they can kind of close ranks, stop being so spread out with the pistols, and just try and run somebody down.
The next round really could be their last chance at anything in Overpass. They lose that, they're going to be 14-7 behind. Not a great buy behind it. And Dignitas showing why they're firm favorites to take Overpass. Should be a case of a formality at this stage. P250s, all that the terrorists have under their possession, one of which has just been taken away. Make that 2. Well, that's going to go for the peak. And they already know exactly where he is. The P250s and AKs will be raining his way into another rifle round. We will move.
Magisk was like so finished with that situation, right? He was like, okay, I know where you are. Get out, done, finish the round. You just need to die, make your money, and go into the next one. The 21st round here, 13-7, Dignitas in the lead still. And well, now Flipside, they have their guns. And we have to see where Dignitas choose to go aggro this time around. And they're going rotating 3 to B early on here. MSL, Rubino, and Config with Magisk and Cajun B going into connector. They're predicting Flipside. Flipside will be going for an early take here on sewers. They'll manage that at least. Nobody in position to really punish that, but this aggressive peek here from Magisk to take down Markaloff, that's huge. Electronic turns it back, takes down MSL. Big sprays coming in, Blade with 2 kills, and now it's Rubino and Config, both on the site. Luckily for them, they're both here in position. They still have a chance in this.
They are pulling back though into more passive positions. Why is he rotating? Rubino! Bro!
Oops.
Okay. Well, that's rough.
That's a bit of an unfortunate turn of events. I mean, no real way for him to know, I guess, that they were going to fully commit to the B site. But yeah, that is tough. Okay, then. Well, it just doesn't go their way this time for Dignitas. Despite them predicting where Flipside were going, they should have had like the perfect hard counter there.
The thing is, though, surely if you're in like a 2v4, 2v5 scenario, you want to bunch together. Like, you're either going to save together, you're going to retake together, you're going to die together. Splitting off 1-1, just, I'm not too sure. It didn't really make a great deal of sense. Maybe they could have held onto the site with a crossfire. That's all in the past, though. Flipside have got their rifle round they were looking for, but far from over. A lot more climbing required to topple Dignitas.
And since they had success there in the last round, they're going to go for more. MSL with the flash, though, way too early. Electronic sees it coming from a mile away. Then another flash comes in. Not sure if that was T-side or CT. Somebody trying to help. Almost cost MSL his life, but instead he takes that win. Backs out, and Config catches Waylander getting greedy as well. 2-man advantage now for Dignitas. And this would be horrendous if they lost this round, Flipside. Only Blade has any money to speak of on the team right now.
They need this round so desperately. They also are going to have a CT player moving his way up long. That's going to be Cajun. Pardon me, it's not Cajun.
That is Magisk,
Aegis.
the magician. He's got a bit of a trick ready here for Flipside because he's got them boxed in now. If they try to rotate back through connector, he's going to be ready for him. Try and back in through T-spawn. He'll be ready. This is a perfect position here for Magisk to just sit and wait in. Config will get picked off by Markelov, so we're into a 4-on-3. Only a single-man advantage now for Dignitas. Cajun at this point, not really sure why he's still on A site. If Magisk is this far pushed forward, and now he's going to start rotating down to the B site. Okay.
It's impressive that Flipside are even in a situation where there's the 3v3 here. It was looking like they'd just be edged out of the round. As it stands with MSL so low and Cajun dying, this could be a very rough end to what was looking like a very bright round.
Oh, the sick nade! Doesn't kill him! For a second there, I dreamt that we would be in the glorious scenario of somebody dying to a hail of shrapnel there. That would have been Blade going down as well. That would have been massive. Because then it would have been Magisk with 5 HP versus Markelov with 4 HP. The situation still favors Markelov, but still, there might have been a chance. Instead, Magisk has to back off. Really surprised that Cajun wasn't rotated down to the B side earlier there. I'm wondering if that's miscommunication or if it wasn't enough communication coming in from Magisk to tell his teammate, hey, I'm pushed all the way up to top mid. There's nobody here. Just take the risk, get down on B side, and really bolster that defense over there.
That's difficult to say, but Flipside are going to pick up a 9th round. The rounds they have won, though, have been very scrappy. It hasn't been a clear cut. It's hard to see them getting back in towards even. But Dignitas have gone through the bulk of their savings. In actual fact, this is going to be their last full buy if they were to lose this in a row. This could see Flipside bring it back to a 13-11 sort of scoreline. Let's see if they have it within them. They've still got themselves an AWP in the hands of World. And at Cajun B, though, will have one of his own. And I'm loving how aggro Dignitas are on their CT side. I'm loving this connector control. It didn't work from the last time they did this. They got sprayed down from outside. Blade got 2. This time around, a little bit more passive.
But Magisk is going, well, he's going aggro this time. He's going to spot out Markelov. Free kill for him. That's going to start the ball rolling here for the B site, but there are 3 players here, and now it's up to MSL exactly to hold the line. He's going to get flashed, but he did his job. Traded 1-for-1. Config will regain his vision in time to pick up the kill, but they're still trading so effectively. Flipside, they come out ahead somehow. Dignitas keep making the correct call, and they're fumbling it at the end.
Which is so weird, because individually speaking, you just view Dignitas as leaps and bounds ahead of Flipside. It should be the tactics that work out. Cajun gets himself the kill onto World Edit. His position is now known, but the smoke is going to blind off Waylander somewhat. He's down to just 34 health. USP has been dragged out of the back pocket. Waylander's been spotted, not quite tagged just yet. Here come the taps, and Waylander clutches. Flipside refusing to go down. But again, they're going to lose 4 players. The issue for Dignitas, they are flat out broke.
2 HP. He lives with 2 HP. Unbelievable. And these close rounds going, for Flipside. And Dignitas, this is where you really start to feel frustrated, right? Where the bottom drops out because you've made the correct call. MSL has made the correct call 2 rounds running. You had the defense set up perfectly for Flipside to come through and just get ground into mincemeat. And yet somehow Flipside are winning all of the duels. Dignitas are just not hitting their shots despite having the advantage in the positioning. So, not really sure what to make of this sort of scenario, apart from the fact that Flipside, they refuse to give up, and that is admirable.
It's not even a case either that if they call a timeout here that they're going to be thinking of some, you know, proper tactics, so to speak. It's probably just going to be a collective couple of deep breaths, you know, just a bit of a momentum shift. And I'm curious if that pause is going to come in soon, because Flipside is starting to get their way back into this one. Dignitas onto an eco, looking like they are going to be bested here in round 24.
I think that Blade has realized now that he's like, well, wait a second, MSL has gotten a read on us 2 rounds in a row. All right, let's go to default. We're getting a little bit too predictable over here. Go for default, take your time, figure out what they're going for. And they should be picking up fairly soon here. Not hearing any nades go off anywhere. They should be picking up pretty soon here that this is going to be an eco round here from Dignitas. So Flipside should be feeling pretty comfortable. Markelov pushing forward with the bomb. Going to check the angle. Pre-fire. Nicely done. Magus is down. Cajun does get the headshot at long range with the P250, but no kill. Markelov holds his own. And between Blade, Waylander, World Edit, and Markelov, it should be just fine. Electronic going to be holding the back line. He gets a free kill there, and it's Rubino now hoping to get lucky versus Electronic, and he will, in fact, find the headshot.
Going to keep himself in this round as well, not trying to back away, trying to stand his ground and fight. Will cost him his life. 13 to 11. Flipside up against the Dignitas spy that could see an AWP, but I think if, yeah, Cajun, I was going to say, if he gets the AWP, he's going to be glass cannon with no nades. And he's opting for the nades instead, so more utility as opposed to firepower. And his AWP hasn't really been that effective on the CT side. We haven't seen him boss it as much as Train on the CT side, so I can understand this M4 purchase instead.
Just go for the spray and pray, basically. I mean, if you're going for an aggro round like this, perhaps this is also MSL just calling for a rinse and repeat of the Chaos round, where Rubino, Cajun, Magus, they're all pushed up. Top of mid, basically. Rubino and Cajun at top long. MSL and Connector. They've used this round in the past here, Dignitas, so they want to get up close. But look at this. Flipside, after the default in the last round, they go straight out onto B this one, and it's perfectly done here. Dignitas predicting a shift towards A. They get caught with their pants down, although they do have Cajun pushed aggro, pushing to T-spawn. Flipside are going to get this bomb site for free. Config is holding passive.
This is where the M4 purchase, though, with extra grenades can really help Dignitas. They've got lots of utility to burst back on the site with 3 incendiaries, but Cajun's gone down. World Edit, his opposite number, will claim the kill. Magisk on the boost, though, will put Blade out of his misery as he tries to take more of an aggressive defensive position. The flip side looking pretty here. Their stack is looking pretty solid. Molly's going back and forth, draws Moylander out into the open. There is going to be an Electronic here. He goes down to Config as well. Could this really collapse now for Flipside? It's all on Markelov. There's the one. Oh, the TK comes in for Magisk as well, but he makes amends with the kill, and the bomb will get defused. Close again, but Dignitas just about hold out.
14 to 11. And you're right, this is just way too close for comfort. Tournament life on the line here for Dignitas. Just have to point that out. For both of these teams, this is the elimination match in the group. And so Dignitas or Flipside, one of them is going home. And Flipside are currently up 1-0 in this best of 3 as well. So it is imperative here for Dignitas to get the remaining 2 rounds that they need to take this to Nuke, the 3rd map. They're looking pretty good so far. Magisk, again, rinse and repeat. They didn't run into this in the last round, Flipside, so MSL calls for it again. Rubino and Cajun pushed up to top long. Magisk is in party. The one difference here is that MSL is not challenging Connector.
Hello, World Edit. Welcome. Just smashed him through the smoke. Electronic's gone from Act 10, which is interesting. Maybe you assume that more players would be head armorless. It's not the case here. Didn't have enough funds to get an AK. But I thought maybe a Deagle or a Tech 9 would be his sidearmor choice, because it does stop him from getting full nades. But the opening pick, instantly Dignitas on the back foot. That was so important, so crucial they got it. Boosting up and not going to see anything for the time being.
No, Dignitas have definitely fallen back onto the sites now. Config and MSL on the B site, Rubino and Cajun B over on A. They're just going to sit and wait, run down this clock. If Flipside want to take their sweet time about it, they can. Because they're using the boost right now. They do get that smoke down onto long, and so Rubino might have a little bit more room to work with. But World Edit himself is going to go ahead and smoke it off, and it's going to be Rubino looking eyes mid right now. Is he going to actually find a target here? Because Markelov is pushing. There's the crouch. There's the shot. Rubino connects with the spray. Solid work. Brings it back to a 4-on-4.
Markelov down, looking for the rest of his team now to pounce. The Molotov a bit too deep, not shallow enough to really bother the boost position. 20 seconds. Flipside need an entry, and they need it now. Is Electronic the man to deliver? Yes, he is. Cajun B comes back, gets flashed, and Blade will put him out of his misery. Will let it on top of that, lands himself a kill, and Config Screw this, guys. I'm peacing out. Maybe we'll think about saving. Yeah, I was curious if he'd go up the stairs or instead back away to the T-spawn. He's saving. Flipside pick up yet another round. This is not over just yet.
This is huge, especially with Rubino getting the start, but only because he only saw the one player there. It was a delayed reaction from MSL. It was a late rotation over. And they're just so exposed in that position. As soon as Flipside push, if they don't have control of long, if they don't have like full control of like one of those entries onto the A side, for the CTs to be pushed up like that, Rubino and Cajun with that boost, it's so risky. They just have to hit their shots. But as you saw, one single flash, Cajun B incapacitated, spraying into nowhere, and they just get overwhelmed, overrun. So solid A-take there from Flipside. Config going to be able to pick up 1 kill on Waylander as a parting gift. That's going to force Flipside to spend a little bit more of their money this round, but still 14 to 12. Flipside 1 round closer to shattering Dignitas' dreams here at DreamHack winner.
And that's exactly why that Cajun B play that you highlighted with being flashed, that's exactly why when you have a buy of pistols and they go for Kevlar and you're saying, well, why not go for a flashbang? Because it can change everything. It can change the dynamic of a round in a heartbeat. Dignitas will have the M4 that was saved by Config, the rest of the team filtering out with pistols. So Flipside, surely, are going to bring us one step closer. That flashbang and the AK spray alongside it will take Config out of the equation. Magisk, in the meanwhile, is now really the last hope for Dignitas alongside Cajun B. Flipside, I got to say, that's a clean take.
That's as clean as it gets. Textbook stuff from Flipside. Nice spray there from Electronic, who took point, got both kills, cleaned up the site. Meg is still alive with that M4, but he's not getting anywhere near that bomb site. He wants to hold on to this for the next round. And, well, money is just all over the place. It's in tatters right now for Dignitas.
I mean, you're seeing there that Cajun is having a real shaky game this time. He was the man that was landing the shots on Train. He's now bottom fragging with 11 for 17. And this is a map that the AWP can do quite a lot of damage on. So it is a bit of a surprise. He's had plenty of AWPs in his back pocket, but hasn't been able to really utilize them. We'll be able to save, it looks like, alongside Magisk, as that Molly's going to allow him to push through into connector and keep himself alive. How's the buy looking for Dignitas now? Will they have much to play with? The answer is a resounding no. So this is going to get a bit closer, Sam.
Yeah, again, 30 rounds. Let's go. Get it as close as possible. 14-13. And Dignitas, again, it's Maggie's boy just saving that M4. Similar scenarios to what actually happened to Flipside in the first half when they were on the CT side. It was a lot of World Edit saving his M4, Electronic saving, well, World Edit with the AWP, but there were a lot of scenarios where Waylander was alone with his M4, right? Just trying to save guns. And right now, Dignitas are in that exact same boat. And they're not liking it. It's an uncomfortable boat. Wooden seats in a tossing sea on a black night. Just uncomfortable. So
there's a gaping hole in the hull. It's not looking good, but that flashbang. Oh my god. Self-wrecked. And Dignitas get themselves 2 kills. Brilliant.
Man, it's just like sweet. I mean, that's perfect. He sees it coming from a mile. It's not even a good flash. Like, it's just, he sees it coming from a mile away.
And you see both terrorists go down. They're both blinded completely. Oh, that is rough.
Sometimes, you know, you go for the improv plays and it just doesn't pan out for you. But flip side, they're not done yet in this round. The rest of Maggie's teammates are all on pistols, so there's still a chance here. Nice attempt with the jump shot. We're going to have the Molotov to try and buy some time, and they're going to take point. We do have World Edit rotating around. Let's see. Electronic, actually, rotating around. And Megas, MSL, and Config all on the site. Let's see. Can they actually execute this? 30 seconds left on the clock, and flip side should begin the push. That one smoke buying so much time, and Config going to get the drop on Electronic. They're doing it! If Dignitas get up onto 15 rounds, this is obscene.
This is all off that derpy playing connector if they can manage to pull this one off. 15 seconds. Waylander's still in this with World Edit, but they're both low. They're both a bullet away from death. Using that smoke to the advantage, pushing through there. Here comes the spray from Waylander. He's not able to get a second, and Dignitas will make the most of Flipside shooting themselves in both feet.
They just blew their feet off, yeah.
Yeah.
TNT'd their feet, oh, flashed their feet.
This is it
off.
here. The flash, you see first player come down. Markov can't see a single thing. And then Blade dies after. That is such a rough passage of play.
Yeah, that's actually fairly painful to watch. Actually, physically painful. Let's see now. I mean, it's not done yet. There's still a chance for overtime here, but Magus can, well, already a 1-for-1 trade at top mid. Some good aggression coming out from both teams, in fact. Flipside, we're ready and waiting, however. And so Magus not able to make it out in one piece. It is going to be World Edit to trade him, and we go back into a 4-on-4 scenario here, something we've seen a lot of in this map. So, Config, Rubino, Cajun B, and MSL spread out all across the map as well. Rubino trying to get info on sewers. I do like that. And Cajun holding an aggressive angle here in restrooms. But this is like Flipside right now. They're in their element. They're just going to take their time, clear out the angles. World Edit going to get boosted up here. And instead, it's Dignitas setting up a presence on long, interestingly enough. MSL and Cajun trying to set a little bit of a trap over here. MSL, though, he's in a bit of a one-and-done spot. Not the best scenario for him if they do decide to push long.
Flipside just trying to take control over Connector, see if they can spot a player. They do see Rubino as he jumps up across for some information, and he gets it, but loses 27 of his health, his valuable health, in the process. 40 seconds now. And Flipside, yes, they got info on the B side, but they haven't really got a lot of ground made up on the A side of things. And this position right here from MSL is so vital, and he lands the headshot. That's going to give the rest of Flipside food for thought as they push through. They can't be 100% focused on bankside. They know someone's up long as well. 20 seconds, it's not looking good, Flipside. They need someone to step up massively. Markelov with the first kill is going to be trying to push his way out for another one. The time is still ticking down amongst all the chaos. The bomb is starting to get planted, and the CTs aren't able to stop it. So the round is back up. We have a game on our hands here.
This is unreal. He just walked around. Markelov was doing a dance on that site. Rubino's going to find the kill on Electronic, though. So that starts the ball rolling here. Flash there to buy time. Worlded and Markelov both have smokes as well. But Markelov just holding the angle. Going to try and go for the spray. Not going to get it. And Rubino with both kills. Dignitas, they take it to map 3. Successful retake for them. Very fine work indeed in the end for Dignitas. Although they did, well, want to make a show basically for us here. Flipside, though. I'm impressed. This was supposed to be more of a one-sided sort of scenario for Dignitas. This was supposed to be their map where they would be very comfortable on it, and we just didn't see that whatsoever from them. It was Flipside who really showed us something here. It wasn't until the very end when they literally threw the round away with a flash. Flipside, what?
That could have been the moment, honestly, because up until that point, remember that round as well, within them 4 with 4 pistols. So just getting 2 kills out of that scenario pretty much won them the round.
Yeah. No, that's a real tough break, actually. Just the fact that, I mean, the flash, it's not even... You kind of expect it to be a bit more of a polished flash, right? But that flash goes in really deep, so Magus had all the time in the world to turn away from it. I don't know.
It's absolutely fine, and I completely agree. That was a case of, Flipside coming into this firm underdogs thinking it's going to be an easy 2-0. At the very least, Overpass would be a breeze. At one point, you were looking at 14-7, I think was the score, and they battled back. They've shown great tenacity, great resilience, and took Dignitas to their utmost level. So now Nuke is the next map, and I think Dignitas again should be firm favorites, but who knows?
I know, right? Who knows at this point? It could go either way. It's been a real scrappy 2 first maps here in this best of 3. First elimination match of the day between Dignitas and Flipside. We're going to take a short break between maps, guys, but when we come back, we're going to have Nuke. Basically, we're going to figure out who goes on into the playoffs and who goes home.